9 people chosen under bizarre circumstances.
Voila.
For a healing retreat.
Martin.
Feels like a setup.
Hello, I'm excited to be here because I sort of conduct almost every interview by like sitting down and being like, hi, let's talk about our weird traumas. And that's like what this whole show is.
I'm sorry. Same topic.
Has being a part of the show made you look at your lives in a different way, like more closely or from a different perspective?
Well, I think for me, like, it's less so. My trauma's it's pretty at the surface, but I will say that doing an acting gig for me was extremely confronting. Less so just about the character and more just the acting. It was extremely confronting because you're journaling, you're writing, you're digging into these very kind of solitary mind exercises of getting into the head of another person, building another person, right? Who is in part you and in part your lived experience and people you know, and you're cross-referencing and creating a new person.
Yeah.
Which I found to be extremely helpful as a songwriter, because what I was struggling with, I think, before I took this job was maybe a little bit of just an ebb in my creativity. And this just was like a jump start.
Nice, like a light switch.
So for me, that was
accessing something else.
It kind of played the role of almost like a therapy for me.
Ooh, I love that.
So you're healed. You're a healed artist now.
I'm perfect.
Oh, I love it. You've always been perfect.
It's
That's right.
done. I'm great.
Yeah.
No, I'm a mess. But I think that this art is. Why do you make art? Hopefully, because you're a broken person and you want to be a little bit more fixed every time.
That's right. Well, with me, I think for every job that I do, it's kind of cathartic. I always learn something from the characters I play. I mean, with Agnes, I've really learned to just embrace your mistakes or whatever trauma that you've been through, and it won't help to forget them because, that doesn't really help, because there's a reason why you experience PTSD when something traumatic happens. It's to protect you from the same thing happening to you again.
Yes.
So that was a big learning.
The body keeps the score.
Oh.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I read
She
that. I
does.
love that
Yes. And I, just that whole notion of forgiveness, the minute that forgiveness is brought up, I was like,
book. Yeah.
ooh, clearly I need to look at something in myself
Exactly.
this whole scene. What's like the most challenging thing about playing a nun, please?
Okay. The most challenging thing about playing a nun is, first of all, I grew up in a Catholic school, so I grew up with nuns.
Okay. So there's a lot there.
There's a lot there, and my main concern was offending the nuns, who I grew up with. Although most of them have passed away, there's still quite a few of them from the same congregation. So it's really more of that, because Agnes is not your traditional nun. She's not
right.
the usual kind of nun. When you think of the word nun, she's not it. So that was my main concern about offending them, especially the Catholic people in general.
Well, yeah, because when you're playing a nuanced character that has some maybe not so attractive things about them, it's all immediately like, but not all nuns. Hashtag.
Yes, exactly.
Totally.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
I get that. And was filming this like being sequestered with like the world's greatest group of people? Because even watching the show feels like that.
Well, again, this is my first acting gig, so the bar is
It's a big
set.
deal.
The bar is set really high, and the thing is like, my biggest fear was that people were going to be worried about me, or not, or I would sense that there was doubt of my being there, and I cannot tell you how opposite it was. Like between you and what are you laughing?
You walking around with a chip on your shoulder, of course, all of us were like, she's fine. She's
well,
okay.
I came in hot because I was I go,
like,
oh, God.
okay.
But it's between.
She's the baby of the group, but she's really one of the most mature people I've ever met. I'm not even kidding.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
But
I
I
love you too.
oh my tit. But the people, when you have a group of people like this around you, right, of seasoned veteran actors who know what the hell they're doing, and they treat you with dignity and respect, it's like the best gift you could ever get.
Amazing.
As a young actor. Like, because they could have been opposite. They could have been like,
We could have bullied you or
they could have been like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have blamed them. But instead, what I got was care.
Of course.
And you guys hyped me up. You were my first scene
yeah.
ever.
I know. Isn't that the best? That's so special.
And we sat together and we talked about the
Yeah,
scene,
we
and
did.
I felt held.
Oh, and a fucking puppet.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, you both.
Thank you so much, Grae.